Hey there, all you sibling people, and welcome back to Sisters Show Me How, the podcast, a place where we help you talk through all the real rough shit. I'm Romantic Rick, host of Sisters Show Me How, and your how-to sister.
I'm Victorious, co-host of Sisters Show Me How, and your other how-to sister.
I'm Complete Cat, and I'm your co-host of Sisters Show Me How, and your other how-to sister.
All right, sibling people, so here is the question of the day. What does self-love mean to you, and what does it usually look like? Yikes.
Big one.
Wow. We're starting off strong today, you guys.
Good thing it's so easy and comes naturally.
Yeah.
And, we don't have to work for that.
Yeah, I really thought that I would just give us just like a game to play today.
Yeah.
I didn't.
That would make sense.
Yeah.
Who struggles with this?
Nobody. Everybody just naturally loves themselves.
Oh, yeah.
Healthily, holistically.
Period.
Yeah, I mean, choosing the best for ourselves consistently.
All the time.
All
No
the
one ever
time.
fucks
I have
up.
never looked in the mirror and just cried.
No.
That's never happened.
Why would you? Why would anyone?
But really, why would I?
No, but really, why
No,
would you?
Yeah, truly.
Because I love myself.
And you should.
Yeah.
Because the only reason I would cut off any part of you is to hold it and snuggle with at night.
That was the wildest sentence ever said to me, but I really liked that.
And can be held up in a court of law. Wait out.
But I liked the way it made me feel.
I feel happy now.
I feel very, very happy and content.
So self-love to Ricky is,
Cutting off bits to snuggle with.
Yeah. Why not? I thought we were going for the witches side of I would take a lock of your hair.
Ooh.
I'd take your left foot and I would cuddle with it at night. Okay.
You know what they say, like a lucky rabbit's foot? A lucky ginger foot?
Hey. All natural too.
This ain't no dye, baby.
Just a little bit. Whatever.
A little bit. She said only back from blonde.
Yep. And back and back and back and forth and back and forth. Whatever. Same thing.
What about for you, Kat? What does self-love look like for you?
For me, I think self-love is acceptance.
Another easy, totally not hard thing to do.
Something I've always done, always been good at. I think for me, self-love is really just the opposite of self-hate, which I guess is neutrality. I don't know. Because love is hard.
Indeed.
Neutral, I can do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm working towards love, I think.
Right.
Yeah. I think you're there in the part that it is the opposite of self-hate. And I think that neutrality is the stepping stone, at least away from shame and judgment.
Yes.
And towards true acceptance.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that goes more for internal and external, though, too, because I feel like a lot of people hate their external. You know what I mean? We're all taught to hate our bodies.
Yeah.
It does not matter who you are, what you look like. You are taught in some way to hate yourself for the way that you look. Your eyebrows are weird. Your butt cheeks are not the same size.
Yeah.
Who told you your nose could be so cute? Absolutely, how dare you? And so I think that also translates into an internal hate in which we start shaming ourselves for things that we can't control, even further than just our bodies and how dare they exist. It sucks.
Yeah. It's a big bummer.
It sucks. So I think if I were to be succinct, self-love for me is, in its greatest sense, a journey.
For me, it's self-love is putting myself first, which is something I don't do. And I know that you guys know that about me by now. It's something that I need to work on super hard about. And I'm trying to at the moment. I'm trying to put myself first, have the tough conversations. And
You're doing it.
yeah, but it's really freaking hard. It's not easy because I let people walk all over me.
Oh, she a doormat.
I'm a little doormat. I'm like, hey, welcome. But I'm trying not to be. And yeah.
I think that's part of the reason that this conversation is so hard for a lot of people to have,
Mm-hmm.
because in order to be honest with yourself about what self-love is, you have to recognize all of the ways that you are absolutely neglecting yourself.
Yeah.
And it seems so easy to sit on this side of the mic and to tell you all of the things that you should be doing and to shame you into things. But if I have learned anything from my own mental health journey, it is that shaming people into action creates acting. You have to inspire people into action because that's the only thing that creates change.
I think that's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's something that I learned, especially like once I got a partner that I live with full time and I started telling him all the things that I wanted to stop doing. If he was super strict with me about it, I would take it as shaming, and then I would shame myself for doing that thing. But it wasn't stopping the action. I was just doing it in secret.
Same. Literally same. Absolutely. Yeah.
So
same.
it shamed me into reducing the bad habit. So it does help a little bit, and there is the nuance of shame. But
Sometimes.
it's good a little bit. So today, we are going to try to inspire you into some change by talking about self-love and our rough-ass journeys through it. Self-love, what is it actually? What does that look like? And how do I utilize self-love in real life? Like this reality, this dimension. Not in the Instagram dimension, because that is not real love. Let's talk about it.
Let's chat.
So what is love actually? Love is actually a mix of several emotions, behaviors, and beliefs based in feelings of affection, warmth, safety, protectiveness, and respect. Think of these not just in an external sense, the way that you would feel for your niece or your friend or your son or, who have you, grandmommy, but also an internal thing. You need to have affection, warmth, safety, protectiveness, and respect for yourself. Where does love come from? Love is a choice and a commitment. It comes from repeated acts of sacrifice and compassion, not to be confused with lust. That one comes from your pants.
And it's pretty dang fun. Self-love is also fun, but
Pretty lusty. Self-love can definitely be lusty. We want you to be in lust with yourself for sure, but we also want you to practice love. And maybe both at the same time, but like in your bedroom, not in public.
Please no.
The subway is not the space for that.
I was gonna say that. Great minds.
So then what is self-love? Self-love is a state of appreciation for oneself that grows from actions that support our physical, psychological, and spiritual growth. Self-love means having high regard for your own well-being and happiness. Self-love means taking care of your own needs and not sacrificing your well-being to please others.
Huh. Sounds familiar.
She said, oh, that?
Easy.
read about that, I think.
I think I saw an article
Thing or
somewhere.
two.
Self-love means not settling for less than you deserve. Not gonna cry. We're literally 10 minutes into this fucking thing. It is a commitment to the self to behave in a manner that is authentic, to provide a safe space for our emotions, to protect ourselves from harm, and to respect our own beliefs by acting in accordance with them. Self-love is a lot of things. Self-love is achieved through repeated sacrifice and compassion of showing up for yourself. For who? For you. For you. For you. For me. For her.
you?
For me?
For this.
Wow. What?
For us.
So what does self-love look like in real life? I want to preface this by saying that this here is very generic. These are super generic steps. And the reason I did this and the reason I didn't get super in depth is because I know myself and you guys are my friends and everyone is only a mirror of each other, right? And so I know if I'm not even doing the basic steps, someone else probably needs help with a little reminder of what the basic steps should look like.
Sure.
So that's why we started here. Not because I think anyone is dumb, not because I don't think anyone has heard these before, but because I want it to really settle in that some of these are really simple. And if we just do just one of them, like maybe one day, if we don't want to wear pants, we don't wear pants. But if we need pants, we just put on pants. And that's just the one thing that we do for the day.
Mhm.
Like we could totally do one of those things, right? Okay, so what does self-love look like in real life? In their article, Self-Love and What It Means, the Brain and Behavior Research Foundation states that self-love can mean something different for each person because we all have many different ways to take care of ourselves. Duh. Figuring out what self-love looks like for you as an individual is an important part of your mental health, which is why, again, this is so vague. I want you guys to take what you need and leave what you don't, as always. For starters, it can mean talking to and about yourself with love. That starts in the brain, right? Like if you wouldn't say it to your children or your grandmama or like anyone that you hold dear, don't fucking say it to yourself about yourself. That's so rude of you. Why would you do that?
I know.
It can also mean prioritizing yourself. It will always mean it, not a can. It will always mean prioritizing
For
yourself.
sure.
In order to take care of anyone else, you have to make sure that you are taken care of first. So it wasn't supposed to be a pointed comment, but then she looked up at me and I'm like,
The shoe fit?
It was pointed.
Does the shoe fit?
does the shoe fit?
Perfectly.
Cinderella. Here was your glass slipper.
No, thanks. As I spit all over myself.
Spit shine. So you can only show up for yourself. You can only show up for other people as much as you show up for yourself. So if you aren't prioritizing yourself, you're not really prioritizing all those people that you think you're pleasing.
Burnout is real.
Yeah, burnout is real. And there's this funny little thing that one of my coworkers said to me today. She said, "Oh, you're a people pleaser? Tell me 3 people who are pleased with you right now."
Ah! Don't do that to me.
I said,
That's so rude.
I'm like,
You're like,
My
well, number
mom?
one,
"My mom?
you question mark?
Do you?
Need for
Please?
you to be pleased with me.
I think I'm doing pretty good.
Oh my god.
You said, me."
I love myself.
Yeah, the most important person.
Yes.
Me.
And we should have said it with our chest, but I didn't. I cowered.
That's an intense question.
Like, oh,
Okay, name 3 people.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Me, myself, and I. Woo!
You're like, hey, it's about self-love, baby. Self-love. That's all I care about.
self-love.
So, self-love can also mean giving yourself a break from self-judgment. Pointed. Giving yourself 3 breaks from self-judgment, maybe. Trusting yourself, which is a lot easier said than done. I recognize that. We will probably go over a whole episode on trusting yourself.
Yeah, no, I need that, actually.
That'd be a bit rough.
He said, "I will be sick that day, I think."
Sick of my own shit.
Being true to yourself, being nice to yourself, setting healthy boundaries. Yeah,
That B word again.
I know. That it's hard to set boundaries when you don't trust yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So there is a little bit of a step-by-step process there, I think.
Most definitely.
But the more boundaries that you set, the more respect you will have for yourself. And then you'll get excited about setting boundaries. And then you'll be setting boundaries left and right. And people will start getting real pissed off at you.
But your peace will be protected.
But you will be so good, baby.
You will
You'll
be
be so
so
good. Forgive yourself when you aren't being true or nice to yourself. I like how it says be nice to yourself, be true to yourself, and then forgive yourself when you're not doing those things. Because that is an important step.
Mm-hmm.
If Jesus would forgive you, you should forgive you. And that is the only podium I will stand at today.
And that's that.
For many people, self-love is another way to say self-care. For everybody, self-love is another way to say self-care, because self-love is an internal self-care, and self-love and self-care is a cycle thing, right? That made sense.
I feel like, yeah, I mean, you cannot care for yourself if you do not love yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you won't care for yourself if you don't.
Or
love
you
it.
might not do it long term. Maybe you're faking it for a while.
Yeah.
But
Maybe someone shamed you into it and you're acting.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Instagram,
Absolutely.
that bubble bath, I see you. You're just doing it for shiny knees. You're not really there for self-love.
You're wheezing.
I have never heard that before in life.
I'm just gonna roll with it. I really was.
You know the bathroom pic? It's so typical. It's the tub with the knees, and they're just slightly wet and glistening with the bubbles and the foam and the
And
candles.
it's like dark.
Yeah.
And like, yes.
Shiny knees, man.
Okay.
I've just never heard it.
Put some glitter on those knees, baby.
Trying to be a little PG.
Wow.
A little PG-13.
Okay. All right, no, that was good. That was good. Yeah.
Works for
Good
me.
for the shiny knees.
Yeah, exactly.
Do it for you.
Do it
Good for you.
Also, no one needs to see your knees, baby.
No, not
I
Just,
disgusting.
just
do a little
to yourself.
toe peep. A little peep at the toes.
No, absolutely. If they're not painted, it's not.
Oh, gross. What are you doing?
Who even are you?
God.
Are you even a woman if you don't paint your toenails?
Isn't that so crazy that we think that? Literally, we're talking about self-love. If you don't paint your fucking toenails, you're disgusting. And I think that about myself. What the hell? That's a universal
I will
thought.
flash my toes right now. They are unpainted.
Mine are half painted.
I painted mine because I hate looking at my feet.
No, I have bare toes. You guys, I went through this whole... let me tell you real quick. Let me just sidebar this. Let me just
Let's hear
steal
it.
the show for a second, okay?
Bring
I
it.
went through this whole body shaming thing, right? Because I have always been thick in all of the appropriate places, right? Like I have a fat ass, I have okay titties, right? Like,
Damn, spread
I'm
the wealth.
pretty. I'm smart.
I have a loving boyfriend.
I have a partner who cares about me.
I was a natural blonde,
God. Okay.
and
But when you put it that way,
That's why God had to take your eyesight.
literally,
He
literally.
was like, I need a flaw.
Oh, I had horrible acne as a kid.
Okay.
Horrible acne. No, but the problem with it was that I was constantly being hypersexualized.
yeah.
Mhm.
Nothing I said mattered because dead ass.
Yeah.
I just started wearing like baggier clothes, obviously, because you don't want to draw attention to yourself. And as a woman, I feel like that's a natural instinct. No matter what your body type is, you're going to wear baggier clothes, especially if you're in public, because it makes us feel safer. You know what I mean? Like, don't draw attention to any of my assets.
Absolutely. Oh, yeah.
Like, take us back to
Yeah.
medieval times. I need the balloon
Oh,
skirt.
yes. Or you can hide like 20 people under there. I'm golden.
Yeah.
Do not perceive me.
Exactly.
Do not perceive what's going on under here.
Exactly. And then I went through this whole phase where, women aren't supposed to be hairy. So I stopped shaving. The eyebrows thing, it really bothered me for a little bit. I dyed my hair. I do not wear the natural strawberry blonde anymore. I always go brown because I don't want the attention. The toenail polish, I stopped painting my nails. I used to be one of those girls who always had to have my nails done. No, and I mean like the acrylic all the time. Like and it's not even like I wasn't doing it because I liked it. I wasn't caking my face in makeup and straightening my hair every day. Like my poor curls, you guys. I was straightening my hair every single day. And now curls are like popular.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And everyone loves them. And I'm like, where was this when I was 12?
Oh yeah, the curly girl method coming out and being like, embrace your curls, like this is amazing, and the whole curl community just being like, what?
Yeah, motherfuck you guys. That's it. And now bushy eyebrows are a thing. I'm like, Someone should have told me, because now I tweeze the fuck out of these things because
Yeah.
I have curly hair and curly eyebrows.
Mhm.
If they get big, then I start to feel bad about myself. But I went through this whole thing. I let my leg hair grow out. I stopped doing my nails. My nails are so healthy now. You can't see those, but they are so long
very
and
long, yeah.
pretty now. And my toenails, my partner makes fun of me because my toenails are so healthy that they get really long.
That makes me think of the New Girl episode where he's like, "You guys make fun of my centaur hooves."
Nick, I
nails.
assume.
And he shaves off half his eyebrows.
Oh my god, why do I not remember that?
Oh my god, that one makes me literally lose my mind every single time. I've seen it like 10 times. I lose it every single time. Sorry about that.
No, you're fine.
Not your centaur hooves. Just reminded me of that.
Centaur hooves.
It's funny though, because I've been going around work asking people, like, if you could pick one mythological creature that most identifies like with your being, what would it be? And my answer has been a centaur. So so that being said, oftentimes your self-care practices will change. And I definitely think that it is important for us to look at our self-care practices objectively and think about sometimes why we are doing those things and where does that come from? Because this whole eyebrow thing was not my idea. I was bullied by grown-ass adults about plucking my unibrow. So that was not my idea. And somehow now I'm taking up my life with it. So for many people, self-care should look like, when we go back to the basics, listening to our bodies, taking breaks from work to move and stretch and to have fun. That is so important. Put down the phone and connect with yourself or others, or do something creative. Again, have fun. Eating healthily, but sometimes indulge in your favorite foods. So don't just feed your stomach and your liver and your kidneys, because those are all important to get the nutrients that they need to, but also feed your soul, because sometimes a cosmic brownie is what you need.
Yeah,
And you should eat that brownie without shaming yourself.
Absolutely. To be satisfied is so much more than just filling hunger,
Yeah.
you know? I mean,
Yeah.
we're here. We're supposed to be satisfied. We're supposed to enjoy all of it.
I agree.
So, yeah,
And we're
a
in
cosmic
the-
brownie every now and then.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Do you guys eat? Do you take the little sprinkles off and eat those first?
Is
It
there any
depends on the
other
day.
way to eat it?
You guys hate me, don't you?
You are the outsider.
I am.
What did you
just-
say? How do you eat it? Just
But
regular?
it depends on the day.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
Wow.
I pluck those little guys off, eat those, and then you eat the brownie.
Sometimes I'm feeling that, and sometimes I'm just like, do it.
Just get it over
I will
with.
say, though, my picking is a trauma response. I don't like things to be dirty. And as a kid, every time I would eat a cosmic brownie, I would eat it. And then one of those little things would fall off. And inevitably, I would have to go hunting for it.
Yes.
And that pissed me off so much, to the point I was just like, I'm just going to eat these first.
Wow.
I don't know my origin story
Tune in later.
as we dig deep with hypnosis to find out.
Oh, that would be fun.
I would
God.
never.
Okay.
I would never.
Wow.
Do you know
shut
the
down
things
really
that I
quick.
would say and do?
We're going to get her to cluck like a chicken.
Listen,
So clucking?
no. The clucking is for our Patreon. It's for paid viewers only.
At the end of the day, self-love looks like accepting yourself as you are in this very moment for everything that you are. It means accepting your emotions for what they are and putting your physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual well-being first. So, how do we utilize self-love in our daily lives? The brain and behavior guys say that the reason why we practice self-love, other than because we fucking deserve it, is because self-love motivates us to make healthy life choices. When you hold yourself in high esteem, you're more likely to choose things that nurture your well-being and serve you well. Crazy how when you respect yourself, you'll like do good things for yourself. That's wild.
I would have thought.
Who would have thought that would be like a correlating factor? Not me. Ways to practice self-love include becoming mindful. People who have more self-love tend to know what they think, feel, and want. And that's because they have taken the time to dig around in their dirty ass brains and clean up a few spaces and figure out what they actually want, who they want to be, and where they want to be, and what they want that to look like.
And it is a process. I mean,
It is. Another way to practice self-love is to take action based on need rather than want. Ooh, this one is hard for me. By staying focused on what you need, you turn away from automatic behavior patterns that get you into trouble. Remember that you and your physical body and your brain are lazy. They want to do the most efficient pathway possible. So that means they're going to utilize all of the neural pathways that you have already established because they don't have to tread a new path for that. That's easy, that's efficient for them. So in order to make a new efficient way for your brain to run on autopilot, you have to take the time to bullhorn into these new neural pathways and fixate on your habits and make sure that you are doubling down on your self-discipline. This means also turning away from preconditioned ideas about what you should want and need. So again, remember, who made you think that you needed that? Was it really you? Because if so, cool. But if not, let's revisit that and readjust. Practicing good self-care, obviously, is good self-love. You will love yourself more when you take better care of your basic needs. People high in self-love nourish themselves daily through healthy activities like sound nutrition, exercise, proper sleep, intimacy, healthy social interactions. Also, make room for healthy habits. Start truly caring for yourself by mirroring that in what you eat, how you exercise, and what you spend time doing. Do stuff not to get it done or because you have to, but because you care about you and are enjoying yourself. This thing makes a big deal about exercise, but I don't want it to be in the sense of like Instagram thing. I just mean move your body in whatever sense that makes sense for you. If you like to hike, go fucking hike. That's your exercise. If you like to walk your dog around the fucking park, go walk your dog around the park. If you like to do couch exercises while you watch TV in the commercials, do the couch exercises. Like, just as long as you are not remaining stagnant in your body, because that is what builds up aging and decay within your body. And that's what we want to prevent. We just want our bodies to be really well lubricated. Okay, so move that thing. Finally, to practice self-love, start by being kind, patient, gentle, and compassionate to yourself, the way you would with someone else that you care about. Again, if you wouldn't to say it to your favorite kitty, if you wouldn't say it to your favorite kitty, your favorite plant, your favorite grandmama, your favorite grocery store clerk, don't fucking say it about yourself. I don't feel like that's too much to ask. Baby step number 1. Take the time to recognize that healthy self-love habits are both internal and external. As within, so without. The way that we talk to ourselves is going to be represented in the way that we act. The way that we act is also a cycle. It influences the way that we talk to ourselves. You cannot shame yourself into loving yourself more. You must be compassionate. You must be patient. You must be kind. So maybe start there first.
Start with those really simple things.
Yep.
But I mean, it is a practice.
It is.
It is absolutely something that you have to be cognizant of.
Yep.
But I think sometimes quicker than we think it will, it does become a natural occurrence in our minds. Everyone has different levels of hatred towards themselves or, you know, different things that are keeping them from loving themselves. But I think most people would be shocked at how quickly it does start becoming second nature when, you know, at the beginning, yeah, you have a lot of reminders, you need a lot of support, but it'll get in there and it'll start doing its thing, and you will unfortunately see a difference and think, damn, now I have to do it. Like,
it actually only takes your brain 21 days of repeated use in order to form a new habit or to break one. 21 days is less than a month. So if you are consistent for just 21 days, I know it's hard. We make it sound easy up here, but it is hard. And we grant you that. But just 21 days, and it will become second nature very easily. That's like 3 weeks. That's it.
Oh.
Bitch, that's in between your periods.
Literally.
You can figure it out.
have a little checklist every day.
Yeah.
Did I, you know, show myself compassion? Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or like a reminder on your phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything that'll make you think of it.
Yeah. Okay, so now we have done all the research bits. Let's go ahead and get personal with it. Yay. So what does this invoke in you? How do you feel? How are you neglecting yourself? How do you want to do better? All of the self-love things. And go.
And go. Okay, let's start.
Let's do this thing.
Let's hear it. What do you got?
The most recent issue I've had with my self-love journey is becoming a new mom. That took a toll on my spirit, my body, everything. I was just like honestly a shell. And like I was just fighting, trying to figure out who I was, aside from being a really cool mom. But it took me like 2 years to like shed that whatever I was feeling and to feel like a sense of like calm. And it was just like consistently talking to myself like, this is okay. You are fine. We're going to get through this. This is just a blip in your life and it's not going to last forever. It does suck. Sucks like really bad right now, but just like I just had to constantly tell myself like, it's okay. You just had a baby. You're not going to bounce back like everyone says you're going to. Like it does happen for some people, but for me, I'm still not bounced back fully. And it like causes a lot of like, God. I literally had to look at myself in the mirror and be like, if I saw my daughter complaining about anything on her body, I would be like, what is wrong with you? You are stunning. You are beautiful. And I'm like, if my mom
made that. You shut up.
Exactly. Like, shut up. You look beautiful. I was like, wow. If my mom saw me doing this, she'd be like, what are you doing? You literally had a baby. You're doing not this on your own, but like for the first 6 months, it was really hard. Like a newborn baby. No one knows what to do. So it's like, I just need to give myself grace, and I'm not good at that.
Yeah.
So, yet. Yeah.
Oh,
I'm working on it.
working on
I am
it.
working on
Yeah.
it. Very
And
much
you're making
so.
moves towards it.
Thank you.
Yeah. Snap survey.
I dropped all my note cards for that.
Oh my God, guys, stop.
Thank you for being vulnerable with us, because it sucks to ever feel uncomfortable in your body. It sucks to also not feel connected to your body mentally.
Yeah.
I can't imagine what it is like to be a mom, to go through that, because it's not only taxing on your mind and body, but on your spirit. You're making a whole nother baby and being a vessel for a whole nother spirit to enter the world.
And it's like anything you feel, they feel.
Yeah.
When they're, even now, pretty much, anything you're feeling, they can see that or they could
Right.
feel that. So it's like constantly having to like micromanage myself and being like, hey, is this really this big of a deal? Because like it could be affecting your baby, you know, like
Yeah.
even your own thoughts are not your own anymore. So it's like having to understand after I gave birth that I'm allowed to have these emotions. I was allowed to have them to begin with, but it is something you have to be more careful about. It's weird, but yeah, I finally can be myself. I feel like it's weird.
like a whole other set of pressures that,
Yeah.
I mean, I think me as a person who has not had a child maybe takes for granted
Yeah,
my
you-
ability to
You have no idea.
have my emotions and my feelings. And yes, they affect other people,
Mhm.
but not genetically,
Yeah.
not, in those really intense ways. I can't really imagine how hard that.
And I had no
Maybe.
idea before, like thinking back, I was like, "Ah, I should have gave these pregnant people so much more grace. Because like I was a manager at a store once and I'm like, why is she always like calling out because she's throwing up? I'm like, okay, just kidding. I'm so sorry I ever said
But
anything.
doesn't that show you where
Yeah.
that shame comes
Mhm,
from? You know
yeah.
what I mean? Like, because that the whole time you were talking, the only thing that kept going off on me is it feels like there's a lot of shame connected to the way that you felt unprepared.
Mhm.
And I feel like that comes from the way that our society treats mothers,
Mm-hmm.
because we really only give a shit so long as you're pushing the damn thing out of you.
Yeah, absolutely.
But so afterwards, we don't give a fuck.
Mm-mm.
And I don't mean we, obviously.
Right.
I mean we as a collective
Yeah.
society.
Right.
And it just goes to show that like that is even ingrained in us as women,
Mhm.
that we will, even if it's subconsciously, judge other women
Yeah.
for struggling with their pregnancy.
And it's like, we know so little about what goes on in in our bodies.
Oh, you mean our as women?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Right.
Wild. I wonder why.
Like, I knew nothing going into this. Like,
Yeah.
it's insane how much you learn just from, like, you know, something crazy happened. You're like, oh, I should have known this. I should have known all of this by now. 25 years old now.
I
like,
wish someone would have told me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that can create a lot of anchor
Yeah.
too of why did no one tell me?
Mhm.
Why am I this unprepared? And then that creates animosity and
Mhm.
negativity. And then you look at yourself in a negative light. You look at all the people around you in a negative light. And it's like, I mean, that could all be alleviated. Number one, by access to information, by
Mhm.
talking openly about women's health, by researching women's health.
Yes.
Crazy.
What a wild thing to do.
Yeah,
Who would
but-
spend their time researching shit?
But also, you know, like each of us doing our part too.
Mhm.
You know, when you were talking about if your daughter were saying those things to herself, it really made me think about like, I don't know, it just was like, yeah, like you're talking to my best friend,
Mhm.
you know?
Yeah.
That's how I feel when you say shit like that about yourself. Because personally, I think you're hot as fuck.
Very hot.
Hot as fuck.
Thanks.
Very, very
Personally,
hot.
I have had sex dreams about the two of you. Not together yet, but
And Vic's not doing it on camera, but you'll see it here first. You'll see it here. But
and so I just like whenever you say like bad things about yourself, I'm just like,
it's confusing.
Yeah.
'Cause
are you
it's like,
crazy?
is that what you're seeing? Because that's not what I'm seeing.
That's not what I'm seeing.
Yeah. Yeah, no, like, the human brain is freaking nuts.
Yeah.
Because you can have 1,000 people telling you one thing, but if your brain's like, no, then, like, you're not going to believe it.
Then it's no.
And then it's no, like, you're wrong.
It's a no from me.
My brain is right, even though it's definitely wrong, but he's trying. Yeah. So, motherhood's crazy. It
Yeah.
takes a toll, but it's cool. Seeing a little human becoming a human. Yeah. I have to watch what I say now? Crazy. Can't be like, oh, I need to lose weight. She's gonna be like, oh, do I need to lose weight?
Exactly.
No. Never.
And she's like, then why do you?
Yeah.
Oh.
Because some imaginary rules that people put in
Mhm.
place well before I was ever alive.
Mhm.
There were some people who determined what it was to look right and pretty.
Mhm.
And so now I live this way, and sweetheart, you'll live this way. Looking in the mirror all the time. And men will call you vain, but really it's insecurity
Mhm.
within yourself trying to figure out, am I perfect? Because if I'm not, what use am I?
Right.
You can discard me if I'm not.
Right.
But men will sit there and say, "Ugh, she's always looking in the mirror."
But in one sense, when they say it's vanity, they're not wrong. They have conditioned us to think that vanity is our only worth. And so, of course, we fixate on it. So, of
Okay,
course, it
Rick.
becomes our insecurity.
Yeah.
So, they're not wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why they can shame us with it. They're gaslighting us.
And it's their rules.
Mm-hmm.
Man, this is how easy it is to become entrenched in internalized misogyny, racism, hate, all of it.
It's all hate. All of those
It's-
words.
Yeah.
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 It's because it makes logical sense.
And our brains desperately need.
Love logic.
Yeah.
Love
There has to be a
logic.
reason. If not, that's maddening.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
If
Soul
not, it
hates
doesn't
it.
exist. If not, it is fearful.
Mm-hmm.
If not, it is shameful. Yep. And that's why knowledge is power.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why we are out here talking about what self-love is actually supposed to look like. And relinquishing a little bit of our own internalized misogyny. Because if you live in a Western society, regardless of what your gender is, you have some sort of internalized misogyny. I wish I could say I'm sorry, but I'm not. It is just an unfortunate truth bomb, and if this mic was not connected to the table, I would drop it for you. But I'm not going to do that.
I see you straining right now.
Yeah.
And
All my impulses.
I see it.
Kat, what is self-love to you?
to me, I think going back to the very beginning, it is neutrality. Sometimes we don't recognize that we hate ourselves because we might not be doing active negative self-talk or things like that, but we put ourselves in situations that we know are bad for us. We let people walk all over us. We do all these different things that we think are totally, so removed from whether or not we love ourselves. What is that? I think it's, this is embarrassing. The Perks of Being a Wallflower, the book and movie. You only accept the love that you think you deserve. I will run myself in circles doing the same old shit, not recognizing that if I just cared for myself or prioritized myself, I would stop the cycle. It would stop. I'd have a chance to get off and say, do I want to keep doing this ride or not? For me, I think the neutrality really is the kicker of maybe I don't have to love myself fully today. Maybe today is we're neutral. We're not going to be negative about ourselves, or we might not be positive, but I'm going to be active about not self-harming, or I'm going to be active about not letting a conversation go too far where it puts me in a position that I'm not comfortable, or any of those things, which unfortunately all require being cognizant all the time.
And mindful and present.
And mindful. A little bit demure.
Sorry.
It's fine. I forgive you. I hate you.
Slay. But I think self-love and self-care definitely are the hardest for me when I'm in a depressive episode, obviously.
Yeah.
Because self-love is an action, whereas self-hate, you don't gotta put a lot of thought into that. You don't really gotta do anything.
But the same can be true for self-love. It is only so natural for us to hate ourselves because we have created those neural pathways, because we have normalized self-deprecation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This place sucks.
Truth is dumb.
We're in the
I
bad
hate
place.
it here.
But we're on our way to the good place.
That was the last episode, Kat. Catch up.
Man.
No, that was 2 episodes ago.
That was 2 episodes ago.
Wow.
Sorry. It was a whole month ago, in time. But yeah. Rick, what about you? What are the struggles in self-love for you? And what are the things that you feel like you're doing well?
We're going to touch on that too with you guys about what you're doing well. Because I remembered when you started that I wanted to do that with you. And now that you're bringing it up, I remember that I wanted to do it with you too. But then you talked to me and now I'm like, we're remembering that we're all doing that afterwards.
We'll loop it around.
For me right now, my biggest struggle with self-love, because I think I've reached the point in my journey that I have reached body neutrality. I no longer care if I leave the house without makeup on. I no longer care if my hair's not straightened. I will wear the frizz. And I will rock the frizz.
As you should.
And I will. Thank you. Eventually I'll learn how to care for it, but then not today. And I just don't really care a whole lot anymore about the way my external body looks. I appreciate for what it's doing, but that's about it. But I think on the internal measure, there's still a lot of shame and anger. And it's really interesting after you hit the age of 25, when your brain conveniently decides to plug itself into the rest of your brain. And it feels like your entire body has just gone through a roller coaster. And you're all of a sudden deciding, I was a horrible person. I was a horrible, shitty, miserable human being. And I need to do better. And so there's a lot of shame for who I used to be. There's a lot of shame for when I show up in ways that I don't want to be showing up anymore. And there's a lot of judgment on my own personal being when I don't do the things I know I should be doing. So that part when I said you can't shame people into action, it only creates acting, this is very prevalent for me because I am very much trying to learn how to inspire change in myself.
We are the toughest audience. It's like I can say this to someone else and they'll be like, that resonates. You say it to yourself and you're like, she's a liar.
She's full of shit.
She's lying.
And every time I get behind this mic, I think the same thing. You know what I mean? And like when I listen to myself back while I'm editing or whenever it like posts, I'm like, who is this bitch? Like she's saying a lot of really good things. Why do we not listen to her? So it's a little daunting to like get up here and be like, I'm saying the things that you should do. And then I'm like at home, just in my own bed, just eating ice cream, dribbling it on the sheets and crying.
Which is sometimes
Needed.
very much.
No, but it's in those moments I'm like in the back of my head, I know I need sunshine.
Yeah.
Just open the
Been
curtains.
24
Rick.
hours.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Just
have
open
not
the
looked
curtains.
outside.
Just take a nap, baby. Just sleep. I'm like, no, one more pint of Rocky Road.
That will cure this, obviously.
It's just my period, guys. It's fine. I gaslight myself with that shit all the time.
For sure.
It's not always just my period. It doesn't always help. Sometimes it is a problem.
But it's never the whole problem.
But 30 days out of the month? No, probably not.
Yeah. You're like,
Probably
oh,
not.
it's 3 weeks till my period. So
Right.
I'm just
Literally me all the
being
time at my house. I'm
awful.
like, guys, sorry. Had a rough day. My period's coming in 24 days.
Yeah. We're like, oh,
24 days. Oh, so you just stopped?
Yeah.
yeah.
I have
And that's
one.
hard.
I
on the
have
body.
one good day.
Yeah.
Out of a whole month.
And
It's
it
one.
was yesterday.
Yeah, and
you're welcome.
good luck.
The day that you stop wearing any sort of like liner or tampon or anything, you're like, oh,
The freedom you feel.
I'm
After-
so happy.
After the mystery day.
Yeah.
Because there's always
Yes.
the one day where you
Fuck that
think you're
mystery
done,
day. Fuck that mystery
and
day.
then you go to the bathroom
And you
and
were
there's
not
blood.
like, oh.
And you're like, but you're brown though.
oh God.
You've been around for a while. You could have come out yesterday.
And it's like,
Me?
Whoops.
I just wanted a little attention. That's all.
You're not
Am I a
pregnant.
problem?
Yeah. You're like, yes, you
Actually,
are.
I hate
And they say,
you.
we'll make up for it tomorrow. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
You will be cotton free.
God.
Okay, so how are we going to fix our problems? Because we can't just stand up here and tell our people, hey, do the things, but we're not doing the things. How are
Yeah.
we going to do the things? Vic, you're up first.
I
Uh,
just started singing the national anthem.
Focus on your country of origin.
Nationalism. That is
Oh
the answer.
dear. What am I going to do? Well, I've already been working on some of it. Like I've told you guys, I'm having the tough conversations with my partner and my mom, and setting up boundaries that I'm really, really bad at, guys. It's so hard for me to set up a boundary because I'm like, what if they don't like me after I set this
It's
boundary?
not the point of a
and
boundary.
it's not the point. I know. But that little voice in my head is like, they hate you.
Are you mad at anyone who set a boundary with you?
No.
Oh,
Yeah. I'm
Good
confused at
perspective
first.
shift.
And then I hear like,
Yeah, it's hurtful sometimes.
oh yeah. And then
can
it's
be-
like,
yeah.
okay, I
but
get
only
it.
because you think you've crossed a line
Yeah.
with someone else. Because you
Yes.
think you've harmed someone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So true. Yeah. Setting up boundaries and looking at myself in the mirror and being like, you're a bad bitch and I love you and you're doing great today. Just talking to myself helps so much. But I don't do it enough because I'm like, people are going to think I'm crazy.
They're
But
gonna
that's-
think you're crazy even if you don't.
No
talk to
matter
yourself.
what. You know,
Yeah.
I'm a redhead.
Yeah, you have
Yeah.
no soul.
Yeah.
Careful. I might steal it.
Careful, I have more than one.
Hey. That's what these freckles are.
She said, all my victims.
I wear
I
them
eat them for
proudly.
dinner.
All true. So,
Okay,
yes.
so but how are we going to internalize our boundaries in order to build our confidence to set external boundaries? Because clearly that's an issue for you because
Mhm.
you're a people pleaser.
Yeah.
So how do we stop being our doormat for ourselves so that we will stop being a doormat to other people? Because as within, so without. If you're a doormat to others, you're a doormat to yourself. How are you pushing yourself over?
Mm. Oh my God. I haven't even thought about that part. Again, didn't think about myself.
Well, this is kind of the self-love episode,
Yeah.
so I think you missed the target
I
there,
did
baby.
miss this one part. Okay. Oh God. I don't
Because
even.
you're great at loving other people. I
Yeah.
can tell you
Yeah.
that as an experiencer of your love.
Thank you.
Not so great
I
at
do-
loving yourself,
Yeah.
though.
I'm like, I do second guess everything. And I'm like, they all hate me. I've done something.
You haven't.
Yeah.
Because if you had, they would tell you.
Right.
And if
Oh,
they're not
absolutely.
upset enough to tell you, then
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. And you know what it never was? That serious.
Yeah.
I don't know right now.
Okay, well, we're going to take some time to think about
Yeah.
it.
We'll come back.
Yeah. I think that is one of the easiest ways to relate self-love back
Mhm.
is to recognize, like, what are these things that I'm allowing other people to do to me? Because when I'm allowing those people to do those things to me, I've justified it to myself somehow.
Mhm.
So on some level, I am also doing that to me. If I have friends who are talking down on me and talking shitty to me, I'm doing that to myself. That's
Yeah.
why that's acceptable to me. If I have a partner who is controlling me and manipulating me, I am, on a sense, doing that to myself as well.
Mhm.
I am allowing that to happen on an internal sense, which is why I've normalized it on an external sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why it sucks so bad when you realize that people have been treating you poorly,
Mhm.
is because it's not a them thing. It's a you thing. If you had respect for yourself, you would never allow someone to disrespect you that way because you don't treat yourself that way.
and just because you have let people treat you like that in the past, they have no right
Right.
to continue to treat you that way. And you have an obligation to stop them from treating you that way.
Mm-hmm.
This is obviously a very nuanced experience, abuse, things like that.
Right.
But to your point, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Once you know that you're allowing it, there's got to be that change. I mean, because the person abusing you isn't going to change,
No.
right? They're going to keep doing what they've been doing. You now have the obligation to yourself that your eyes have been opened. You've seen that this is not a healthy thing. It's not giving you life. It's not giving you joy. Now it's your duty
Mm-hmm.
to rid yourself of that.
Right. Because you can never, in the topic of abuse, you can never change them. You can hope and you can pray, but that does just as much good as it does in gun violence cases. You can never change them. You will never help them enough. They have to help themselves. They have to change themselves. You can't do it for them. The only thing you can do in a system of abuse is to look out for yourself
100%.
in every situation when it comes to abuse specifically. I get mad about abuse because I've been through it quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've built up quite a bit of a backbone for it. And I have noticed in my personal life that because of this backbone, I come off as aggressive towards other people. Because when I know it's a fault of mine because I do it to the victims. Not in a sense that I'm victim shaming them, but in a sense of like, I'm like, you have to leave now.
I'm
like,
ready for you to leave.
I'm ready for you to
I'm
leave,
ready.
so you're ready for you
Yes.
to leave.
Yes.
And it is not helpful, not compatible, because like with an abuser, you can't change them. You cannot force a victim into being ready to let go.
Mm.
They have to decide for themselves that they are worthy, that they deserve respect, and that they are ready and confident enough to do that for themselves. So I'm trying to be a better advocate because I've been a bull. I'm like, bitch, let's go. I will tear down the whole house for you. And they're like, but my china. I'm like, fuck the china.
Like, we're in the car. We're ready to go. What you've got on is all you're taking.
That's
Okay.
it.
We're headed out.
We'll figure it all out. We're leaving now.
I am similar. I'm very action oriented.
Yes.
When I see someone being mistreated,
Injustice, yeah.
why I don't use that for myself, I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, no, I am that foot on the gas, ready to go. As soon as I know that there has been something going on, we're done. We're out.
Yeah.
We're ready. That person will go back. That person will go back. And they will go back. And they will go back.
Because it wasn't their
'Cause
decision.
it wasn't their decision. And it is maddening.
Yeah.
It is maddening. And that's why, I mean, like being trauma informed and listening to people and listening to survivors is super important. But it's hard.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very hard thing to regulate. I am right there with you.
Yeah. Because abuse is not just hard on the victim, it's hard on everyone who loves the victim. Because don't beat on my favorite doll. She's so cute. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Or he's so cute. Like, what are you doing? You know? So, yeah, it just, it gets me in my feels. When you said that you aren't sure why you are so adamant about seeking justice for your injustice on an internal level, maybe you just need to be your own best friend. Maybe you need to recognize that there is a little version of you inside of you who needs this version, this big bad version of Kat, to stand up for her and to protect her. And that you are simultaneously both. Because maybe that will give you the courage to be able to stand up for yourself more. Because big you is treating little you like shit. I don't know that. I'm just taking it for what you said.
No, I mean, yeah. Yeah.
Wow. Anytime I use that analogy, I'm all like teary-eyed because
I know.
Ew, why am I being mean to her? Like, what the heck is wrong with me?
I literally, and this is a personal tidbit, but I have an altar for myself, and that sounds narcissistic, but I use it as a memory to remind myself that I deserve to be treated well. I put little pretty things on there. And on there is a picture of me at 5 years old. And it is just the constant reminder that she was cute and adorable and perfect. And she deserves all of the things that she didn't get. She deserves protection when she was neglected. She deserves a voice when she never had one. She deserves peace when she never got it. And she deserves to feel beautiful when she was told she wasn't.
I think that's a great idea. Seeing the physical embodiment. I mean, I'm sure for you, watching someone
My
who
mini
looks
me.
like you
Mm-hmm.
walk around the earth.
Your house.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I'm sure that is a very triggering, but also very good.
So meta.
It really is.
It is. And I think it took a long time for me to understand that, like, she wasn't me almost. It was like, it's weird that I have, like, a whole other being that I created walking around the house. Like, and she's my daughter.
Yeah.
Crazy. Ugh. So how I'm going to do things better going forward. Things that I've been doing better at is giving myself time to just freaking be myself in my own little space. Like, no one bothers me. I have my alone time. That's like super important, is to like have your own space to love yourself, because constantly taking care of someone all the time is exhausting, and it doesn't really give you time to even think about you.
No.
At all. So like taking that time and doing a craft or like reading a book, just spending that quality time with yourself is what I am trying to do more of.
Yeah.
For me.
I think that's a good idea. How can we take it just one step further?
Yeah.
Maybe what's one way we could like explore a new creative outlet that we haven't tried before? Just like some way to get in a discovery mode of self-love.
Yeah.
Because sometimes the practices can be daunting. But if we take it from a play approach, then it becomes easier.
Yeah.
It becomes more natural.
I think my brain is shutting down this conversation because it doesn't want to hear it. I'm being completely honest. I think I'm shutting myself off right
She said,
now.
I have had enough.
Yeah, I think my brain is like, no.
Okay, so we'll keep it at you're creative, and
Yeah.
we're gonna try something
I'm sorry.
exploratory creative.
Yeah.
Don't apologize.
Okay.
You have nothing to apologize for. There's a reason these are called the tough conversations.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is a natural thing for us to just eventually reach our cap.
Yeah.
Good thing it's almost the end of the episode.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, if this was 10 minutes in,
We might have a problem.
Maybe different, but yeah.
Okay, so Kat, how are you gonna do things better? And then how can you take it one step further?
So one thing that we kind of touched on is like talking, to the person that you love, right? And saying like, that's my best friend or that's my daughter. Like, don't talk about her like that because that's mine, right? One thing that I do find really helpful is talking to my friends, and honestly, it feels a little weird at first, but saying something along the lines of like, what's something you love about me? What is it?
Could we play that game?
That would be a really fun game to end on.
Okay.
And whatever my friend or mother says, you're kind or you're funny or you're thoughtful, right? You're a good gift giver. I get that one. I sit in that, honestly, and I think, okay, I have made someone's life this much better by being thoughtful. I've made someone's life this much better by doing something kind for them.
Yeah.
And really trying to put actions to those words, right? You're thoughtful. Okay, how am I thoughtful? Let me think of some of those things. And it's almost like a highlight reel, honestly.
Aww.
Just in your head of like, okay, yeah, I was really nice to this person when I didn't want to be.
A little love movie.
It really is. And it honestly really does a lot for me to sit there and say like, okay, number one, my friends wouldn't lie to me.
Right, because if we trust our friends, we trust the way that they see us.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, okay, how can I prove that that's true?
Right.
And so that's, I think, something that I think a lot of people should try. And like I said, it feels kind of silly to like ask someone, but just like how you got so excited for that just then, I have never talked to someone who did not have excitement for it.
Yeah.
You are not going to walk up to someone and be like, what do you love about me? And they're like, go away. Right?
I mean, and if you did, you approached the wrong ass person.
You absolutely went to the wrong person. Go to a different person. Go to someone else. But I think, yeah, one step further from that, probably like trying to find that within yourself. So me trying to find those things and not have to outsource it, maybe.
Yeah.
Because that is something I definitely notice is a lot of my self-care relies on others. And that's not self-care.
Right. It's external.
That's external. That's using someone to get what I want. And like we've talked about this whole time is like, there's not one way to do this. There's not a straight path. You're going to have stepping stones. Talking to your friends is a stepping stone. Because eventually I'll be able to say, oh, I am this. I don't have to text someone to ask, right? So I think that's my like further step. My
yeah,
goal.
I think you're right. I think instead of our game of what we love about each other, we should be saying what we love about ourselves.
Yeah.
Because we should be internalizing. This is self-love, and it should not come from external validation. And as much as I love you bitches and would go on a fucking 52 reasons why, I think it's more important for us to give ourselves at least 2 reasons. 3 seems like a lot at the end of this, but we'll do 2.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
I think for my own personal self-growth, the way that I show myself a lot of self-love is to question things. I'm a big intellectualizer. And so I like to know where things come from so that I can sort them out. It doesn't always work for me because I can rationalize myself out of feeling the feelings. So I think that going forward, I can utilize the both of them simultaneously. I can do a internal body meditation and seek out the pain, and then ask myself, where does that come from? And allow the body to answer, rather than providing answers from the mind at all points of time. I think allowing myself to connect the two of them on a more frequent level will build the skill. Because I can tell I hold a lot of fear in my gut So I have a lot of indigestion and IBS and the shits all the time because you guys wanted to know that. My Lou and I are best friends. I have my own special potty. But yeah, so I think just like being more present, being more connected to my body, less intellectualizing, more feeling the self-love, less telling myself how I should love myself.
That made me like just feel really proud for you just then,
Thank you.
because it really like you're signing up to do the hard thing of stopping the intellectualization
yeah,
of your emotions. And as a person who also does that, it's very comfortable
it is.
and it's very, we think it's safe, right? But yeah, I just got like very proud of you for like acknowledging like I'm gonna do it the hard way, because the hard way is actually the way I need to do it.
Yeah, it's sometimes the only way. The only way to know that glass hurts is to run head face through it.
It really is. Really is. But I think that's great. I think that's really great.
Thank you. I'm definitely going to be working on it. And we'll have an update video at some point. Woo! We're all so looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's end this with things that we love about ourselves. Pick 2 things that you love about yourself.
Okay, I can do that.
You can do that.
I
There
love
are so many things.
Yeah,
Mhm.
easy. I love my kindness.
Yeah, you do.
I know I'm so nice.
You are so nice.
I can be too nice at times,
You can.
but it works for me. And
I appreciate it.
I'm gonna do one like emotional thing and then one like physical.
Do it.
Beautiful.
I love my nose.
You
do
have a
So
good
weird.
nose.
I
When you
love
said
my nose.
Cutest nose. I was like, yeah.
I have a good nose.
Cutest nose.
But I love all noses. But I like in the mirror, I'm like,
That's a
Good
good
nose.
one.
That's a good nose.
It's a really good nose.
Anyways, Kat, 2 things you love about yourself.
I love about myself that I am very compassionate for people. And physically, I'm gonna say I think I have a warm little smile. I think I have a nice little
so
smile.
cute. You're
It's just
cute.
like inviting.
I think you have a nice laugh too.
mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Everything that comes out of that mouth.
And everything
most
that goes
times.
in.
Hey folks, you heard it
Hey,
here.
folks. Folks.
And everything that goes in.
And everything that goes in. What about you, Ricky?
It's wild.
What's your 2 things?
So internally, I love that I am too much. I care too much. I am a little aggressive. I'm a little over the top and I like it. Externally, how funny would it be if I said that ass?
That'd be
Good.
You
It is pretty
know
wonderful.
what though? That ass.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yes.
Because
Yeah.
why not? Who
That's good.
cares if that's what society thinks is nice and I get hypersexualized? It is a nice ass.
it's a great ass.
It is a nice ass.
Yeah. Can't complain about it.
Yeah.
I knock over orchids at work sometimes.
And you have me cheering in the background. And I am.
Ricky's ass? Was that?
I'm like, wait, I heard it. I heard it. Where'd it go?
If an orchid falls and nobody heard it, it was still Ricky's ass.
It was still
Yeah.
Ricky's ass. I like that the too much thing. I don't know the context of the show that it came from, but someone said, then go find less.
Yeah.
If you think I'm too much, then go find less.
Yeah. And I used to, I've lost friends over it before because I used to be called the confrontational bitch because I want to work things out. I want to find a solution and I want things to work. And I was just always like, they're just like, you're doing too much. Your parties are too much. Your people pleasing is too much. You care too much. You do too much. And I'm just like, well, you know what? I am too much.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I got too much frizz. I got too much sass. I got too much ass. Deal with it.
Yeah.
Deal with it.
Deal with it. I'm only on this big rock for so long. Who cares?
And I didn't choose this booty, okay?
The booty chose you.
Chosen for me. So at the end of the day, my sisterly advice would be to take the time to figure out how to truly love yourself and what that's going to look like, because you deserve it. So chew that over and come back next time so we can talk about what the hell to do next.
As for today, we love that you came to chit chat with us. Feel free to take what you need and leave what you don't, and join us in the next chat when you feel like it, or take a break from all the talk and watch us get some actual work done on our DIY channel, only on YouTube.
Don't forget to check out our social media for more how-to guides and bonus footage of previous episodes. And while you're there, tell us about what's going on in your world. What can we help you with?
After all, that's what a sister's for. Bye, guys. There is this thing, it's a line in a song, and I'm blanking on the artist because my brain's too big for such small things.
Thanks.
Yeah. All those ridges and grooves.
I am so
Don't get
humble.
them.
Just the most humble bitch you have ever laid eyes upon.
Your best quality,
Absolutely.
by far.
I'm glad you noticed. Thank you.
Of course.
Um,
Anything else? Of course, yes.
I'm like at the point where I've almost lost my point now.
Like, oh, fuck. What are you talking about? I blacked out.
You're like, when is it my turn?
I blacked out.
Oh my god, I fell asleep. Here I am.
That was crazy.
Would you like to try again?
Can you make that sound good?
I could try, but another effort would be. We can do it at the end.
Yeah, we'll do it at the end. I was like, I just blacked out.
I was like, another effort would make it a little easier.
I didn't know how bad it was, like I said.
She said, I blacked out.
Okay.
Try to stay awake, Kat.
I'm Complete Cat, co-host of Sister Show Me How, and your other go-to. Wait. That was so close.
So good, dude.
Oh, okay. Okay. How to sister. Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
The way you're so good, and I'm about to fucking crush this.
That's okay. I'll be the one who's all red and teary. They'll be like, she can speak, but she's ugly crier. Not good.
Just don't look at her.
Yeah, just don't look at her. You can listen.
So instead of no, I don't fucking know what I was talking about.
I was trying to get there also.
I was like, how do we loop back?
What were you saying?
It's always my mother.
Perfect timing.
Hey,
Always.
Mom, welcome to the pod.
No, absolutely not. I will just talk to her later. It's because I didn't call her beforehand and be like, hey, I'm recording. Don't fucking bother me.
I text my mom. I said, phone is on silent. I love you. Because otherwise it'd be the same thing.
Fucking moms. God. I'm like, is she calling me again? I'm going to scream. I'm sorry, you guys.
Is she?
No.
Okay.
My parents are just blowing up my phone now. From what I've gathered, something showed up at their back door, and I'm assuming it's an animal.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay. Take the time to truly. Oh, God.
Me.
I'm gonna have to clip out everyone else's face.
Yeah.
Except for who's talking, because we're all just like.
It's so hard.